known this moment has been coming for quite a long time. Emperor Bob, the warrior philosopher of North Valyria, versus Topbog Spoff, the Hand of Chaos, the first series versus the last series. 75,000 men versus 86,000 men. Ideally, I'd have liked to have been the one to declare this war, obviously, rather than having Topbog declare war on us. But I think we're going to be okay, just based on troop count, based on, you know, our own sort of martial capabilities here. The only thing I'm concerned about is we can't... Obviously, we don't have a dragon. We have a dragon egg from the last one that lived and then died. We do have a dragon egg. Yeah, we do. Tyveron's dragon egg. But we can't hatch it. I can only assume there's a particular amount of cooldown. Yesterday I said after I've reloaded, I'll try giving it a go. And, you know, I've given it 24 hours and still no dragon eggs. So, let's hope at some stage during this war, maybe we can get the dragon hatched, even if we're losing. If it gets to the scenario where we're losing, we'll try and keep the war going for as long as possible. I won't white peace, I won't surrender. We'll just keep it going as long as possible in the hopes that eventually we can hatch and grow the dragon to a decent degree. So I have a sort of three-pronged plan here for making sure that we aren't completely wiped out. So number one, I've got roughly 12,000, 13,000 troops. They're going to stand in Elyria and hold the fort down. That should prevent Topbog getting some easy war score. I've got, obviously, many troops heading onto the actual ships themselves. We had something like 40,000 troops on those boats. So about 30,000, or 26k, I guess, with these boys going back to defend their home. Then everyone else is going to stand at Karth. And more specifically, we're going to move into Matsar when we've got some more troops. And hold the fort here, because they can only get to us via... Oh, you know what? I guess standing in Lacron would be better, because both the Sand Road and the Jade Road pass through Lacron. And in fact, there's no other way by foot to get to... it's actually a war against, what is it, embargoing Astapor or something? So, essentially, yeah, I believe it's Astapor, because they've got Astapor in their capital. It's basically Myr paid them off, right? But Astapor is in their capital, so I'm not entirely sure where they'll get the war score from. I imagine because the war is against us, it will be just them sieging Elyria, taking out different provinces here and there. Why is this one sieged? High City of Worm River. Oh, it's a civil war. Right. So, that being said, like I said, we've got half the troops, or a third of the troops, kicking around Karth to try and cut them off at these entry points. We're going to attack with a major sea force, and then we'll keep some on the home base defending it. Oh, Zach managed to avoid my guardsman's fled to the court of Brapaeryan. I don't know who that is, nor do I care. Levy size and morale plus 10%. I'm actually going to go for morale, seeing as we have the superior numbers anyway. We might as well really rub it in. So, who do we want on the home defense force? Honestly, not our best commanders, but some who are still pretty good, obviously, to try and avoid any naval landings. Why have we got troops in Tyrosh? Because apparently we have two holdings in Tyrosh. We have the City of the Fountain of the Drunken God and the Temple of Trios. Excellent, good. We won't bother with those too much. We'll get Aegor there. Aegor, I believe, is Bob's grandson, right? Something like that? Anyway, we'll get him on the center, and then we'll just go with some generic characters here to hold down the actual capital. Bob himself will lead the assault on Asshai. That should be obvious. That's definitely something we're going to do here. Let's go land in Astapor. Or I believe it's Astapor, isn't it? Gishkar Point, which I think is Astapor. We'll land here, get everybody on board. And then, ooh, they've already started to attack. I imagine it's trade posts. Yeah, so there they are kicking it around Matsar there. We should be fine. Right. We are taking a little bit of attrition here. Not ideal. Once we're on the boats, we should be good, though. And King Bob here already has scurvy. Not that I think it'll affect him anywhere. I don't think he can die from disease or anything like that whilst he is resurrected. So, let's head to Asshai, which is Topbog's capital. Where is he? He's up by Saraburai. I think if we were to attack Topbog, that would be obviously an epic showdown, first and foremost, but would give us a shit ton of war score. And while he's near the coast, I think we should push the opportunity while we've got it. So let's take our troops. Where are our boats? They're around here somewhere. Yeah. Let's move these boats up to North Asshai, because I imagine he's probably moving up from Asshai round, and it's probably going to go through Karth, because how many boats does he have? Does he have enough to carry his armies? Yeah, he does. He has a lot of fleets. Holy shit. After eating plenty of different fruits and vegetables, I finally feel well. Is he not still on the boat? Yep. Well, there you go. He's lost scurvy at sea. The best of all naval ironies. My courtier, Garthil Arathon has expressed a desire to get married. Good, good. Now, I'm going to apologize in advance. My commentary is inane babble today, because I have an exceptionally high fever. I'm basically burning a hole in the floor as I'm sat here. So, Topbog, is that him? He's right there. 36,000 versus 10,000. I don't think he would expect this of us, but let's do it nonetheless. Korgan, Midas Stones. Aereo, Korgan, Bob, move in. Oh, Topbog. Wait, where's he gone? Ruler personally leading troops. Lord Protector, Topbog, the Hand of Chaos, is reinforcing his own armies. Here we go. Look at this. Bob versus Topbog. This is insane. I owe him nothing. Two of the most powerful characters. He might win this. I'm not going to lie. He actually might have this one. Ooh, we just managed to get a center break before ours broke. He didn't have either commanders, which definitely benefited us a lot. If he had commanders on this one, he might have won this. Because we did obviously do a naval landing into jungle as well. So, Topbog, without his commanders there, didn't do a goddamn good job. Nice. Minus 10% war score. Why? Controls all trade posts in the Shadow Sea. Oh, really? We have to counter-siege trade posts to actually... I suppose it's not a big deal. I mean, all we've got to do is really just do your traditional CK2 thing, but we've got to worry about the trade posts alongside that. Don't think I've ever fought a defensive embargo war before, because normally it's something that only affects Merchant Republics. I haven't played as a Merchant Republic in years. Right. Get rid of those, boys. 7%. Is Topbog still? Topbog's gone. His troops are fleeing from the battle. Right, back onto the boats. Let's head down to Asshai proper and torch the place. That will also give us back a trade post as well. Your Imperial Majesty and Wisdom, Emperor Bob, the guild possesses vast stores of knowledge kept secret from the world. Excellent. Now's not the time for that, but that's alright. 24,000 men left. Not bad, considering that was almost a disastrous battle to start off with there. They have 8 troops. They've got 8 troops heading north and then 6,100 defenders. Again, they're not going to be able to touch Elyria with our fleet, with our massive, massive army stood there. What are all these? I need to try and take control of things a little bit more here. Right, let's put these down, because I'm keeping a very close eye on this to know when they're actually attacking our various armies. So this one is the Defenders of Karth. So let's merge those. So we've got 34,000 men defending Karth with no attrition, I'd like to point out. That's massive, 3,600. I'm also going to build a fort here to help mitigate any attrition just in case winter sets in. Army of Aegor, obviously the defense force. The Army of Emperor Bob, the attack force. And then North Valyrian Army, the one cutting them off at the pass there. Do you want to just kill these troops for the fun of it? Oh. The full might of North Valyrian fleet is sailing at full speed through the southern Jade Sea with the flagship Steve the Dragon at its head under your command. The men of all the fleet are eager for battle, emboldened by the sight of their Emperor leading them on his flagship. That's an awesome event. We will surely not be defeated. Emperor Bob, the warrior philosopher, gets flagship increases morale, given another 10%. That's another reason why we were able to win that battle and really hold on there, because the morale of the center was not looking good, but the 10% morale we got from the Maester emboldening troops, plus another 10% from that, means we could fight wars against armies that are pretty significantly larger than ours at this stage. We've also got a hell of a lot of heavy infantry there. Yeah, they didn't really stand a chance here. Acolyte Belshan. Oh my god, now would be a really good time to use Wildfire, because we don't have a dragon. Why can't we do it? Alchemist Guild. Oh, we need to invite an alchemist. Right, so hire an alchemist. Welcome. Make me some wildfire. You pay a visit to the Alchemist Guild in Elyria and commission Wisdom Aelor to provide you with more wildfire. We always welcome your patronage, Your Imperial Majesty. It will take us some time, but we can supply with as much of the substance as we can. If we don't have a dragon, we'll use the second best thing. And you know what? We also have the ability to hatch the dragon egg again. It must have been on a yearly cooldown, like I said. Let's go for... what do you think? Advanced theory and use of the substance. I will study and experiment with alchemy or read on the arcane histories of knowledge. Well, arcane history is a bit pointless, seeing as magic hasn't returned to the world. Because I think we have to have 3 dragons simultaneously, don't we? It's either hatch 3 dragons or have 3 dragons alive simultaneously to get magic to return. We can very quickly find out when we hatch this dragon egg. We'll go find someone with a glass candle and see if we're allowed to equip it. Right, I'm going to go with wildfire then. Because we're going to be using that for, you know, 5-6 years while we wait for our dragon to grow to a decent size. Let's take out Asshai. Siege of the trade post. Let's take them back. 38%. There we go. So he's lost his 33% gain on us there because we control all of our trade posts. Take the capital. What's the attrition in this place looking at? 12,000. Ugh. Let's build a fort. Let's split the army in half and move half up to... Does he own these? Oh, he owns Chisa and the Saffron Lands. He's got all of the Duchy of Asshai. 9.9% every 12 days. Actually won't take too long to get this place knocked down. It's a real shame. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, that's insane. That's a really, really good outcome. 33% chance of gaining Master Pyromancer given learning +1. We gain 100 knowledge. This is the best outcome of the event, but obviously getting that 33% would be incredible as well. I think we got unlucky there. I didn't see any more. Yeah, no, that's a real shame. That would have been so cool, though, because I believe that also reduces the chance of the wildfire going wrong. So it is kind of a double-edged sword in the sense that, it can backfire on you as you're, like, preparing it for the siege. You can also blow yourself up with it, which, obviously is not a good thing. Right, once these troops are split up a little bit more, we should be... Battle of Chisa, nice, nice, nice. There we go. So we'll be able to take this one out. Now, I'm going to build another fort here as well, just because... Oh, you know what? The attrition isn't going to be very, very much there at all. Become enemies with Korgan. He's clearly not of proper blood. Well, that seems, that seems like a weird thing to say. Sack him. Get out of here. I made him High Admiral as well. It's unbelievable. Aegor. Aegor, my grandson, seems a more appropriate High Admiral for the realm. Yeah, this is going to be no problem at all, because I don't think Topbog can launch the counter-attack. Now, I don't know if you noticed when I was looking at Elyria, it was the Army of Aegor. When we're looking at Elyria, they've actually got 477 boats, which is obviously a huge amount. That could be almost 50,000 troops sat outside Slaver's Bay waiting to launch an assault. What we could do, and what I'm actually going to do, is move the Githkari fleet? What? Why is it called that? I guess it's because they're predominantly boats, I guess, that we've got from Gishkar. Anyway, let's move these up to Elyria. We'll start moving the troops onto the boats, wait for them to move their troops in, and then we'll follow it up with a naval landing and crush them. Now, this could be risky, because obviously if they do have, you know, 20, 30,000 men, we're not going to be able to take it back, I don't think, with any sort of sneaky naval landing. Oh no, my hibiscus. Ingredient, hibiscus, ingredient, hibiscus. A real shame there. Siege of Matsar, thank you very much. How are we looking at 30? Man, 46%, and he's really not put up much of a fight at all, eh? We might as well finish and let this one siege down. Marry as you please. We've got no commanders on here. My son, Amadon, will have... Anybody else who's not leading... Oh, everybody's leading troops. Honestly, Amadon's the best commander in the realm. Kinslayer. Suspected Kinslayer. That's cool. I didn't even know you could get that. Interesting. Anyway, we'll finish sieging this one down entirely. 46%. We'll move into Jade Point. The only downside to this is we're going to have to be very close and keep an eye on the Sand Road just in case they end up coming down there. Your Imperial Majesty, my news has been a good... My mission to improve your good name has been a success. My news to improve your good name. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Seems a bit odd that the head of our religion would have sympathy for Valyrian faiths. Lady Malia the Just. Questionable. Questionable attitude there. She might have to be burnt alive. I'm sure she'd probably like that. She might get off on it. Order Archon Tagon to stand down. What do I care? No, he's a king, and he's also Valyrian, so I'm not going to piss him off too much. Right, so actual Asshai, 12,000 defenders, 15,000 supplies. So I'm going to split this army in half and move half down to continue with this, because this one only has... Oh, you know what? We might as well just assault this one down very quickly. 85%. Move some over to the Saffron lands, and then when they're going through, because I don't want to die to attrition here, when they're moving down and past, my wife, Alina, is pregnant, which is questionable, seeing as we've been in Asshai for the past year. Master Sano, what's he after? Due to the realm level authority and law, this command will be legally binding. Sorry? You will have the power to brand Emperor Bob Zapaeryan a traitor if they refuse. I mean, I'm going to order him to stand down. I'm going to pick someone to gain a claim on his title, so I'm going to give it to her, which means she's going to like us a lot more. I feel like that works. Hey, winter's coming to an end. I didn't even realize it was winter, so I'm kind of glad I've been a bit careful about the supply. Right, so we should be able to avoid taking attrition now. Do you want this dude to join us? Veyron? He's actually very, very good. Look at this dude. Red Priest, Fire Obsessed, quick. Theologian and expert scientist and... Yeah, okay. You've convinced me. Welcome aboard, Veyron. 22 learning. Is he better than our current priest? Absolutely not. Good God, look at this dude. He is R'hllor, isn't he? Wow, that's insane. Hey, pretty happy with that one. Alright, so the Saffron Road shouldn't take too long to get rid of as well. We've got 5,100 men, so we want to leave these boys here and merge them so we can actually start taking out Asshai. Let's get... Oops, I didn't mean to move you. Let's get Bob, Aegor, and Aegor, just to keep things simple. Then on the actual armies defending the capital, we'll go for Amadon, Korgan, and Balaros. Just because that's one of the most important things. If this army gets wiped out, who the hell cares? Honestly, they're just in a slight attack force. They're like a hassle force, if anything. Right, this should be no time at all. I think we've got this. 94%. Topbog, you really did not put up any challenge whatsoever, eh? Where is he? He's sat on the boats just waiting for us. This is kind of a big issue with CK2, right? Is that naval combat. I've said it 100 times this campaign and every other campaign. The naval combat is just terrible. Like, it's actually god-awful. They've lost this war because they just won't get off their boats. Because they know how valuable Elyria is and how much war score they'll get out of that if they can capture it. But they're not doing anything, you know, they're not defending their own territory. Anyway, I will buy her something nice. I will go and spend some time with her. Let's go and visit our wife, because I'm pretty sure this war is in the bag. We've got ourselves some wildfire as well, some defensive wildfire there, so if things get out of hand, we could just lob it at Topbog. I think we're going to win due to ticking war score at this rate. I genuinely think we're going to get this just from sitting around for a while. 99%, we've inherited Yunkai Harbor. Thank you. No, don't really want that one. A son. Oh, shit. Our first inbred character of the entire game. Not bad, considering this son is actually more of just a genetic clone of Emperor Bob at this stage. Bearing in mind how thin. So, she is the daughter of my granddaughter and my grandson. My grandson is my grandson twice over. His wife is also my grandson twice over from my other children, who are also married. This kid is basically just a carbon copy. It's like he's just Xeroxed himself at this stage. Named Tagon. He's lost a trait in inbred. Do you see that? Why is it all the inheritable traits disappear? You wouldn't think that inbred would disappear if they were born with that. Because does that mean they'd lose like dwarf and club-footed and hairlip and things like that? Seems very odd. 99% war score. Come on, Topbog. There we go. Thank you very much. Now, that was obviously not the major war, but for a trial run, that was not bad at all, eh? Magister Gaston pays 136 to Emperor Bob. What an absolute waste of time. I'm just going to go and quickly disband all these armies, because honestly, getting them all home is going to cost us more in upkeep than it is just waiting for them to recharge, to be honest with you. So, where's the Fiery Hand? North Valyrian fleet, we can definitely put those boys down as well. Thank you very much. North Valyrian army, they might be at Karth, I guess. We obviously don't want to disband those boys. Yeah, they are. Let's move them into Karth, disband them, and then raise them again at Elyria. Alright, let's put those down and raise them again. There we go. Alright, well, that worked out incredibly well, I think. Not too bad. Kind of a little bit lackluster, to be honest with you. I was expecting a bit more of an epic showdown between Topbog and Bob. But to be fair, it was an embargo war on behalf of someone else. We will save all the epic explosive stuff for when we get to the actual war to close the labyrinths on Lang. Speaking of which, maybe now is the time to push the advantage. He's got 78,000 men. Ooh, that reinforced quickly. Jesus. He's got 78,000 men. Now, we don't have truce with him because, well, I mean, because he doesn't, you know, he declared the war on behalf of someone else. So that's just basic game mechanics, right? I don't want to border dispute him because I think it's a waste of time. Border disputes have never been worthwhile, especially when it's going to be 70. It's going to be war of hundreds of thousands of men. We could start fabricating claims. So we could fabricate a claim on something like Jiangqi, and then from there we'd be able to fabricate on Lang. But I don't think they'd just roll over and let us take that, you know. I'm going to give it a go because I think that'd be a nice underhanded way to do things. The most ideal outcome would be Dragon Conquest and obviously burn the darkness, burn Topbog, burn his very questionable wife here. Jesus Christ, she's terrible. She's absolutely terrible. We'll burn them both. But I think, first things first, let's get ourselves a dragon back, shall we? Right, put the boys down. Let's go attempt to hatch a dragon egg. Please. Please, for the love of God, please work. We're running out of dragon eggs. This is a very dangerous event. It's not to be taken lightly. The less knowledge you've gathered about dragons, the more likely the hatching will fail. Well, we've got all the knowledge about dragons. And we've actually got more since we hatched the first one, because obviously we landed in Gis. Proceed. Oh, there we go. Please don't die. Wraith Ring. Wraith Wing. That's a cool name. He's nimble as well. That's really cool. Personal combat skill plus 80. Martial minus 4, which is kind of a shame. So he's going to be a much smaller dragon, but in personal combat against other dragons, he's going to dominate. Which isn't particularly relevant unless someone else manages to get one, I guess. There it is. Tyveron of Elyria. That dragon that we had for all of a few seconds. Probably the worst one to get when we're using the dragon predominantly as a siege weapon. Wraithwing. What am I going to call you? We'll leave it up to the nice people in the comment section. Speaking of which, last episode I asked you guys what you wanted to name the sword. And I'm going to go and check now and probably regret it again. So I'm going to give this rename to a more serious one. And the most upvoted serious suggestion I saw was not Valyrian Steel Sword. The top upvoted one was Swordy Name, which is very good. It's a good one. Now, I'm going to actually name it. This is quite a good name as well. Sounds like something they call a Valyrian steel weapon in the Game of Thrones world. We'll call it Shadow Chaser. But for those of you upset that I'm not calling it something fucking stupid again, you guys get to name the dragon. I'll pick a stupid one for the dragon because I think it's funnier to have a stupid name for a dragon because we're going to see it more frequently. The sword is just basically going to sit there in our treasury now, right? So I feel like this is a fair compromise. Wraith Ring of Elyria. Let's unpause. Will he die? Wraith Wing. Sorry, I keep thinking it's Wraith... I can't even say it now. Wraith Ring? Probably because I watched Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring yesterday. Excellent news. 169.8 gold. Thank you. We do have a ridiculous amount of gold, huh? I think it's time we start reinvesting back into the people. We'll give it back to you. The people. Right, so, first things first. Refuge is probably going to be fairly important here, just in case we get another Scourgy outbreak. What else have we got here? Fortified Bank would be awesome, but obviously we have to be part of the Banking Society, and when we were part of the Banking Society, we were paying off everybody's fucking loans, so I'm not doing that one. Modest estate gives tax income like infantry, not massive, like cavalry. Heavy infantry pikemen, I might go with barracks, because the highest level of barracks, barracks 6, will give us a fair amount of troops. Obviously, that doubles up with the other bonuses as well, so levy size bonuses, if I can see any. What gives levy bonus in this? Maybe nothing does. Maybe that's only with the Flame Queens mod. We can also make ourselves a Household Guard, which is essentially, well, honestly, a mechanic I've not actually looked at all in this. So let's establish a Household Guard. You gain Household Guard in Elyria, as it says there. The group of men loyal to House Zapaeryan have been brought together to establish your Household Guard. They will work to protect you and your family and can be put to work. So these boys are like your own personal little attack force, your own little bodyguards, right? So we can give them all commands and stuff. I can't believe I've never actually looked at this in the series, right? So we have to name ourselves a captain and a household guard. So preferably someone who likes us, preferably someone who is quite strong as well. Imperial General, that's a cool name. Rival of Emperor Bob there. Rael isn't bad. Content, brave, arbitrary, rude, genius. She seems like the type of person I'd like in charge of my guard here, so welcome aboard. So what that will allow us to do is actually command them through various things. So improve my levies. We can drill our soldiers, try and increase levy size, defend Elyria, spend some money shoring up defenses, which gives like temporary province modifiers to my knowledge. Enforce my will. Basically will lower revolt risk, that type of thing. So I'm going to say improve my levies. Train the peasants, which gives local revolt risk plus 3%, levy reinforcement rate plus 10% though, which is obviously huge. Seeing as our levy is barely reinforced, I might actually do that one. Household Guard drilling gives levy size plus 5% and extra morale, but lower taxes and lower reinforcement rate. So when, obviously, our troops are filled up, we might want to switch them over to that one. But for now, I'm going to train the peasants and increase revolt risk by 3%, but we could realistically have our marshal, like, crush revolts. Could also have you train troops as well. Levy reinforcement rate plus 105%. Yeah, you know what? You can work alongside them. I'm also going to send him a gift, because apparently he hates me. In fact, I'm going to bribe the entire council, because none of them seem particularly pleased by Topbog. Why? Sorry, Emperor Bob. Did not give me title, unrewarded service, Legion's Tyrant, minus 75. Maybe we should just rest on our laurels for a little bit and let our vassal opinion, our tyranny and our dishonor here tick down by quite a significant amount, because this is pretty absurd, I'd say. Sacrificial burning as an offering to the Lord of Light would gain me much favor. Excellent. I mean, how many sacrifices do we have stacked up right now? Oh shit, we can create fake valuables. Absolutely. I'm going to make gemstones. Why am I making gemstones? Well, I talked about this briefly before. Oh shit, we need to deal with Gishkar. He's got a plot to try and kill us. Yeah, we'll take you out in a second. That's the kingdom of New Gis, I should say. Sacrificial burning as an offering to the Lord of Light, blah, 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 blah. So let's burn him, give us another 0.5, and let's see how many we've got. 37. So that's enough for 3 resurrections. Obviously, it's 10 per. Do I want to spend... We might as well just to uncover the plot. He's apparently plotting to replace Emperor Bob and become regent. Wait, what? Archon Tagon Galenkis of Astapor believes he would be a better ruler than Emperor Bob of North Valyria, and so should be made regent. Who is our regent? Designated Regent Prince Amidon. We could just do that. Will that not solve that? Adds gemstones. So, why am I adding gemstones? I've said this before. Well, the simple reason is we can give them out as gifts, and it's plus 15, assuming that people don't discover that they're fake, right? So we can go to, let's find someone who's a good example for this. Let's go by opinion instead. So I want to kind of find the head of our religion there. She's Malia. So we can go ahead and give her those, and I think it's plus 15 opinion. It's quite a lot, anyway. Gemstones. Yeah, it is plus 15 there. So you can have those. That'll keep her on side for quite a while. Again, if she finds out they're fake, she's going to hate us, but I don't think that's an issue. Nice. That worked out pretty well. Support the carpenters, local build time, and local build cost in Yunkai. Sure? I mean, we could always build up Yunkai, I guess. It's a good province, don't get me wrong. Why not? Honestly, we've got enough gold. Let's start, like I said, let's start actually properly reinvesting into things here. Castle Town 1, give us some taxes. Anything we can build up in Elyria, I absolutely will. So what about the capital here? Let's go for, I built barracks last time, right? Oh, I didn't even start them. Yeah, no, let's build the barracks. Let's also get our... Are you overseeing construction? Oh, he already is overseeing construction in Elyria. There doesn't seem to be many ways in this compared to the base game to actually buff up your... To buff up your build cost. Obviously, in the base game, you could stack the Chinese artifacts. You could make yourself some really overpowered books. This doesn't seem as possible. In fact, I'm not even sure we can write any books with this dude, can we? Not that I can see. Great Houses scoreboard. This would be interesting. Oh. Probably shouldn't have. Oh, there we go. Jesus, that took some time. So, the most prestigious houses. Oh, of course we've got no prestige. We haven't died. We're not even on the list. We're that bad. House Stark, Lords of Winterfell. Look at this event. It's killing the game. Maybe I should get rid of that. House Zompar, House Reed. That's cool. So that's Howland Reed and friends. Not bad. So let's buy some more slaves then. Like I said, we've got enough gold. I could just go on a slave raid, but I want to keep my troops to go to war with Topbog in a minute. Or prepare as soon as possible for that. That should help our build cost. Oh, look at that. Holy shit, there we go. That's looking a lot better. Right, let's invest as much as possible. We've been on business focus for quite a significant amount of time. I'm tempted to go for either theology or rulership. I believe we've already done scholarship, haven't we? That's what allowed us to get into the Alchemist Guild. Theology would be good because that would make our vassals respect us a lot more. We could always go with rulership to obviously try and gain just things like that. Might also have an effect on tyranny and dishonor. So I'm going to go with rulership in the hopes that they've added some sort of event to help reduce those a little bit. I'm actually going to give Yunkai away. I know it seems like an odd idea, and I know I said I wanted to keep Astapor Marine in Yunkai. The only downside to that is we're getting a lot of prosperity events for Yunkai, but none for Elyria. And I think, to my knowledge, you're more likely to get those very, very OP province buffs if you've got one province. It will only target that, right? Plus, it'll also give us access to certain other events that only occur when you've got a domain size of 1. So I'm going to give Yunkai away. It's not generally the best idea. It is a big gamble. But again, I think it might help boost up Elyria a lot. So let's see who we've got who is unlanded here. Amon is pretty good. My religion, my culture. 15 stewardship. He's content as well. I'm kind of happy giving it to this dude. Here you go. You can have Yunkai. In fact, I'll give him the High Lordship because that will also make people not like us. Again, in the Game of Thrones world, you're not really supposed to hold multiple provinces, multiple duchy level titles, which is why if you go to this one, the formula is actually very, very low. The only reason we're allowed to hold 7, it's not done on, so +2 stewardship bonus. Well, stewardship is fairly high. Lord's giving us +1. In the equivalent in the base game, we'd be able to hold a lot more personal domain. But again, in the Game of Thrones world, you're not really supposed to hold a lot of... You're not supposed to hoard titles, which is why we get that event so frequently for people asking titles, people asking for titles. So, I'm more than happy to do that because I think it'll help have more targeted events on Elyria, seeing as Elyria is the only one they can target. Level 4 Refuge. We are flourishing and not prospering either, worth pointing out. Force Training, Meager Wildfire, Economic Innovations. So we've actually only got 2 of the many, many different prosperity buildings. We also have an Alchemist Guild, obviously. Yeah, kind of surprised we haven't developed this more. I really should have been sinking much more gold into this, eh? What have we got there? 27 days for Barracks Level 2, absolutely. Your flagship, Steve the Dragon, has given years of good service to North Valyria. Absolutely not. 115 gold, so now, shouldn't have reinvested, eh? We have just lost all of our gold there, so I think this is a better time than any to leave it. I don't want to try and, force any more content into this episode. My fever is insane. I'm literally melting through the floor right now as well. So I need to take a break. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully content will get a bit more, what's the right word for it? Bombastic, a little bit more exciting over the course of the next few days as I stop being incredibly ill. Thank you all for watching anyway. Thank you for the continued support on the channel. And a big shout out to all of the insane top tier level patrons. Zachary Harris, Harik, Sean Thornton, Haydog, Zedini, Tim Bragg, Loris, Michael Mullen, Vacuous Bacchus, Josh Lindeen, Tesla. Whew, can't do this today. Tyler Birch, Jacob Alexander Fenton, Pavos Presley, Asuna Kirito, Logan Thorne, Conspire T, Jimbo, Orksville, Facundo Vasquez, Tom Terror 18, Escape, Average Gamer 418, and Jackson Widman. Thank you all for your support. And a big shout as well to Nathaniel Lindbergh, Brandon Mitoniak, Euphrates, Jack Allen, Betimus Max, Panther Pearl, Gabriel Van Ders, Llewellyn Thomas, Nathan Flores, Johan DeVries, Hajji Demar, Alpha Scuff, Kevin Saunders, Duncan 2 and 7, Zach McDougall, Joseph Beard, Jordan Camel, Harry McGowan, Chris, Hancock, Sir Thor the Swede, Asero, Nick, Will Wade, Noah Gallimore, Fraser Brennan, The Insane Pickle, and Anna Person. Probably, if I'm incredibly ill for quite a while, I'll probably start doing more live streams and churning up some content onto the second channel, because those I can sort of do from a bit more of a relaxed perspective to make up for the slightly shittier content as a result of that. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that.